Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Matterhorn Matt presents Matterhorn Mondays.
Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Matterhorn Mondays. This is episode 64, and I am your host, Matterhorn Matt.
And I am your co-host, Alex the Historian.
I guess I should say co-host. I'm your co-host, Matterhorn Matt, with Alex as well as the second co-host. I guess that makes more sense.
You don't have to say you're the co-host because you're the main host. I'm just the co-host.
Is it? I guess. Okay. I guess that's fine. Anyways, welcome everybody to episode 64 of Matterhorn Mondays. My hands are cold. My arm hurts because I got a flu shot earlier. So kind of stiff and sore. That's hopefully not going to impact the show at all. Probably not, because I don't use my arms at all during the show, except when I'm clicking stuff. But anyways, welcome to this week's episode. We got a really great episode planned for you guys, but before we do, I want to get into a few announcements. Let's see. First of all, shout out to, link is in the description, at It's Jers. I'm probably pronounced that wrong. As you guys know, I'm terrible at pronouncing anything. Link is in the description. Shout out to her for making the amazing new logo you guys saw at the beginning of the, I guess it's like the loading pre-stream thing with all the music that plays, and you guys will see it in the new intro I'm going to be having. So shout out on Instagram and Twitter. Link is in the description below. It's really cute. I hope you guys like it. I think it looks really nice. Might turn it into a shirt or some pins or some stickers. I don't know. We'll see. Money's kind of tight right now because I will be in Disneyland. Great transition. December 3rd through the 7th. And yeah, I've said this every week for the past who knows how many weeks it's been. Meet up with Alex and Chris and I, and all of you guys, of course, will be on December 3rd at 2 p.m. in the lobby of the Grand Californian Hotel. So really excited to see really excited to see everybody that shows up. And this is a juicy scoop right here, guys. We are going to be having a live, it might be live, I'm 99% sure it's going to be live. We're going to be having a live podcast from inside the parks with Alex, of course, and Chris from LMG Vids on the 7th. So no stream on the Saturday. It will be moved to the 7th. If anything changes, Alex, I'm reading the chat. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, if anything changes regarding the live show from the parks, I'll tweet about it. I'll let you guys know on the Discord, so be sure to stay tuned to those. But we're really excited. We tried to do this last time I was in the parks. It didn't really work out. But this time, we're dedicated to make it work. Really excited. Never done a live show from the parks. If you guys would have any... We're trying to find a nice, quiet place with internet, of course, to do the show from inside the parks. I don't think it really matters which park. It could be Disneyland or California Adventure, preferably Disneyland, of course. But if you guys have any location ideas, because that's the one thing we're kind of stuck on, location for the show. It has to be away from, I guess, as many people as possible. I don't want to have to, like blur people's faces walking out in the background. Mateo says quiet in Disneyland. I mean, yeah, quiet enough. So if you guys have any location ideas for that, that'd be greatly appreciated. You can either say them in chat or in the comments or tweet them. Doesn't matter, whichever way you prefer. But yeah, really excited.
I'll have to look into it, but I think I know a good spot, but I don't know if it has good Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. But the spot is the little pier on Fantasia Gardens over by Small World.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I guess
Yeah.
we can do some scouting during the meetup. We'll see which places have Wi-Fi, which places don't have Wi-Fi. And a worst case scenario, we just won't live stream it, but we'll still record it. So it'll be up for you guys. You just won't be able to do the live chat thing. But yeah, really excited for that. Yeah, Mateo just said the old motorboat cruise dock. I don't know if that has Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is kind of spotty throughout the park, but we'll see. We'll find a good place. But yeah, anyways, getting into, I guess that's it for all the announcements this week. Let's see. Yeah, so be sure to tune in for that. I don't know if we'll say where we're going to be recording, because I don't want people to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want people to come in while we're recording and like jump in front of the camera and say hi. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But meet inside. It's a small world.
Camera bombing or something.
It wouldn't be photo bombing, like video bombing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Video bombing.
That
doesn't sound good. Like, it doesn't. Video bombing kind of sounds dangerous.
Yeah, guys, don't video bomb, even if it's not dangerous. Anyways, yeah, really excited. Especially for the trip coming up. Really excited to see all of you guys who show up. I'm sure we're all gonna have an amazing time inside the parks. Oh, I forgot to mention, yeah, we will be meeting in the lobby of the Grand Californian Hotel on the 3rd at 2 p.m. And I guess we'll hang out in downtown Disney like we did last time. And then for those people who can go in the parks, we'll head into the parks together, get on some rides. Not really sure how long it'll last. I guess just until everybody decides they're tired and wants to go home. But you guys already know I'm gonna be there up until closing every day, probably. So I hope you guys are ready. Whoever's coming to the meetup, you're gonna be staying there all night long. But anyways.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, let's get right into this week's News from the Peak.
We now present to you News from the Peak.
Okay, it's always so awkward because we can't hear the audio from the transition. For the News from the Peak transition. But anyways, News from the Peak, you guys. Very excited. We got some great news today. First bit of news comes to us from the Disney Parks blog. 2019 Disneyland After Dark events. Sweethearts Night and 90s Night. Let's see. I'm sure you guys remember Disneyland After Dark. They had, I think it was just one event last year. Of course, there was Disneyland After Dark back when Walt was alive, but Disneyland After Dark is returning in 2019 with 2 new events. First, on February 7th, called Sweethearts Night, the happiest place on Earth transforms into the most romantic on February 7th, and love will certainly be in the air. Dress to impress and bring your sweetheart to enjoy. Love song themed dance parties throughout the park, as well as a royal ball experience. That sounds interesting. Encounters with beloved Disneyland couples, including Eugene and Rapunzel. Oh, that's worth it right there. Aladdin and Jasmine, and of course, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. That Mickey Minnie is also amazing. Immersive photo opportunities featuring romantic scenes from iconic Disney films. That's interesting that they use the word immersive for photo ops. Sweetheart-themed decor, as well as romantic food, beverage, and merchandise offerings, and unlimited Disney Photo Pass digital downloads of your photos captured during the event. Of course, you're probably going to have to pay to get into these events, so it's not 100% free. And then on March 7th, 90s Night, relive fond Disney memories and party like it's the 90s. Come dressed in your 90s best attire and step back in time to experience special 90s themed fireworks show, throwback musical entertainment, and more. Throwback 90s themed fireworks show. I wonder what that's going to be all about. Interesting. A reimagined Disney Afternoon Avenue with special greetings from favorite Disney characters from the 90s and interactive photo opportunities. Okay. Decade. Decade. Decade inspired.
That was the worst you've ever done.
I got thrown off. I thought it was a more fancy word than it actually was. Decade-inspired food, beverages, and merchandise, and a commemorative fanny pack and an unlimited Disney Photo Pass digital downloads. Fanny pack,
Ooh,
that's
fanny
pretty
pack.
cool. Yeah, they're bringing back Afternoon Avenue, I guess. I guess it'll be interesting to see how all of this will go down. Visit Disneyland.com for more details and pricing. Let's see. A limited quantity of tickets for both events will be available beginning next week, November 27th. Tickets on sale for Disneyland Resort annual pass holders, and November 28th, tickets on sale for general public. So I guess annual pass holders get a day early ticket purchase event day. So yeah, sad I'm not going to be there for that. This all sounds neat. Of course, you'll have to pay extra to get into it, but I guess it's worth it if you're into that kind of stuff. 90s Night sounds cool. I'd like to see a reimagined Disney Afternoon Avenue with special greetings from your favorite Disney characters from the 90s. So anyways, our second piece of Disney news comes to us from a website I've never heard of, WeGotThisCovered.com. Not sure how reliable this is, but according to them, a Rocket Raccoon and Groot team-up TV show may be in development for the Disney Plus streaming service now. This is amazing if you guys are Marvel fans or Guardians of the Galaxy fans. Gender swap in movies never goes well. I don't know what that comment is relevant to what we're talking about, but moving on. So I'm sure most of you have heard the news of the Scarlet Witch. What is it? The Scarlet Witch. There's a low-key TV show. There's another one, I think, that I can't remember. But according to WeGotThisCovered.com, Disney's also working on a Rocket Raccoon and Groot team-up TV show, which would probably, in my opinion, it would be the nail in the coffin to whether or not I subscribe to the Disney Plus program, Disney Plus streaming service. This comes, I'm not really sure how to feel about this, though, because as many of you may know, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 controversy with James Gunn. James Gunn will probably not be involved in the TV show, and of course James Gunn was crucial in the in the creation of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise with Marvel. So hopefully, if this ends up being true, hopefully it is good, because Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel franchise. And I love Rocket Raccoon and Groot. They're two of my favorite MCU characters as well. But moving on to more important, in my opinion, more important piece of news, according to International The News.com, Jack Sparrow is out in the new Pirates of the Caribbean reboot and will be replaced by Red the Redhead. I don't think that's her full name. I think it's just Red, but I'm sure you guys remember us talking a few weeks ago about the rumors of Pirates of the Caribbean being rebooted without Johnny Depp, because, you know, Johnny Depp, not the greatest person anymore. I'm not 100% sure why everyone started hating Johnny Depp. I think it was explained to me a while back, but if you guys would like to talk about that in the chat, keep it to a minimum, because I'm sure there's a lot of mixed opinions on this. But yeah, I guess the redhead from the new Pirates of the Caribbean changes to the ride, will be taking over Jack Sparrow's place in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Not really sure how I feel about that. That's what Kenton was referring to. Gender swap in movies never goes well. That's what he was referring to. Yeah, now my gender swap comment applies, but yeah, this is very, very interesting. This is, Alex, what are your thoughts on this whole Red replacing Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise?
Well, my thought on it is kind of complicated because, first of all, I'm the kind of person that feels like when you have a good movie, you shouldn't spoil it with a reboot or even a sequel, unless it's an overarching story that requires several movies to tell the whole story. Then that's different. But if you got a really good movie, it's probably most likely gonna fail as a reboot. It's just not gonna be as good as the first. So that's my thought on that for one thing. So the fact that they want to reboot the Pirates of the Caribbean series, and they most likely they probably want to do several more movies with this new Red character. I just feel like, why? Like, the first Pirates of the Caribbean movies were well, the first movie was really good. And then I personally liked Dead Man's Chest. That was really good because of what's his name, Davy Jones. But it's like, why do you have to go back and redo something? You already have something really good. Like, someone was it was Orange Grove 55 that tweeted like, oh, like, how come people don't have problems with or why do people have problems with Disney redoing movies? Like, some redos are really great, but my whole thing is, when it comes to iconic movies, because it's an iconic movie, whatever it is that, it could be Titanic, could be, I don't know, anything. It's already loved and cherished for how it is. It's like, why do you have to go back and touch it up again and do something different with it when it's like what you have is a masterpiece? It's perfect how it is. Why mess with perfection? And so that's kind of my whole thing about it. Now, separately, the Red character, okay, I can foresee her being a good character. Like, I can kind of foresee her being like the sassy, Irish pirate woman, and and she's a very commanding character, very outgoing and stuff like that. So I can foresee her being a funny and good character. It's just that, like what Kenton had said, for some reason, whenever they take a movie concept and swap the gender for a different gender, whether it was a female at first and then now the next movie is a male, or whether it was a male and then the next movie is a female, it just doesn't go right. It just doesn't, something about it never really works out. And I have to cite the Ghostbusters movie for that. Like, I just felt like...
I completely forgot about that until you brought it up.
Yeah, I felt like... Well, I mean, I felt like maybe the Ghostbusters movie wasn't necessarily just about the gender swap, but mostly just because it was just a bad story, just a bad movie. But like I said, for some reason, the movie itself doesn't work out when you do something like that. So that's my complicated thought on that.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, I guess it all just depends on whether or not they make her into a good character. But this is interesting. I just Googled, let me move this tab over. I just Googled the box office revenue for the fifth, that is correct. The fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And apparently the budget was $230 to $320 million. And it grossed, is it grossed? Grossed.
It's grossed.
Yes. Oh, goodness. It grossed almost $800 million in the U.S. So I guess that sort of tells that the Pirates, there's still an audience for Pirates of the Caribbean. And this one kind of blew my mind. The fourth, Stranger Tides is the fourth. The fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie grossed $1 billion in the United States. That's kind of crazy. While the first one did $654 million. So very, very. And I'm not really much of a fan of the newer Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I didn't think Dead Man Tells No Tales was very good. My mom forced me to see it with her, and I didn't think it was very good. Not really a fan of Jack Sparrow as much. They should have stopped after the first, or even the second one was pretty good. Not as good as the first, but yeah. Anyways, moving on to we got a couple things to talk about before we get into our main topics, but keep reboots in mind because we're gonna give our opinions on all the Disney trailers that were released the past couple weeks. We didn't get to do that last week because there was so much to talk about from Destination D, but this week we're gonna be getting into every single trailer Disney released these past couple weeks. So we're gonna be getting into Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. I haven't personally seen it. I'm going to read a review from DSMINewscast.com by John Bishop. Never heard of John Bishop before, but this review is written by John Bishop. Some of the guys in chat and on the Discord have seen it, and they said that it was good. I'm sure you guys remember my thoughts on the movie. I didn't think it would be good. Yeah, no spoilers. I don't think this article has any spoilers anyways. I wouldn't really care if it got spoiled for me. But I'm sure there are people watching who don't want it to get spoiled for them, so I don't think this article has spoilers. And yeah, I'll avoid reading anything that looks spoilerish. But yeah, my opinion on the movie was that it was not going to be very good, just based on the marketing alone. You know, all the cringy marketing stuff that they've done with the movie kind of was really off-putting to me. But according to DSMINewscast.com and a lot of the people who've seen it in the Discord, they said it was really good. Let's see, there is a review here. Quote, Ralph Breaks the Internet combines elements of the original Wreck-It Ralph, Ready Player One, Frozen, King Kong, Tangled, and Star Wars The Last Jedi, and transcends its genre. Yeah, so very kind of vague review, but he gives it a 5 stars. 5 stars. So John Bishop, good on you for liking this movie. Jill says it's not like the marketing. That's good. Yeah, like I said, I was really the marketing was really unsettling to me. It sort of gave me Emoji Movie vibes. Even though, you know, in the back of my head, I knew that it would not be as bad as the Emoji Movie. Because it's a Disney movie, of course, but it is a Disney sequel, and, you know, Disney animated sequels are not always the best, but, yeah, so I'd like to know what you guys think of the movie. If you've seen it, comment down below or say in chat what you thought of the movie. I guess your review, how many stars out of 5, I don't really know. You don't have to give your stars review or whatever, but Alex, I don't think Alex has seen it. Alex, have you seen Ralph Breaks the Internet?
I have no interest in watching this.
All right, so we're on the same page then.
I don't know. It's just from the trailers I've seen, there's nothing that they've shown me that has generated any single ounce of interest, any gram of interest on my part. And the thing is honestly, I despite what the critics may say about the movie, you know, if they give it a good review, I just don't believe them anymore. You know, like I've seen so many terrible movies be given 5 stars that I'm just like, okay, these people are not reputable anymore. And the thing is I can't trust what the general public thinks is a good movie because a lot of them, you could just show them rainbow colors for 2.5 hours with some like techno music and they'll think that's a good movie. So it's just like, you know, like I just, I'm sorry, people. I mean, I know I sound really what's the word, negative on this, but you know, movies cost a lot of money for me to see, and I feel like they should be really good, you know? So, and at least the trailers should be able to show me something that I might want to see in a movie. So anyway, with this movie, not interested.
Yeah, I agree. The trailers didn't really do much for me either, But then again, I mean, I don't know. It could be amazing. I probably won't see it until it comes on Netflix or whatever streaming service it'll be on eventually.
And I'll tell you something else. I actually watched, there was, I don't know who posted it. It was an extended princess scene from the movie.
Oh,
I don't think it was 100% the full scene, but it was a pretty long scene. I think it was like 3 minutes long. And that whole princess scene, from what I saw, was just absolutely terrible. I mean, the way that they portrayed the princesses and their personalities, I get that it's supposed to be funny, like it's supposed to make you laugh, like, oh, of course these would be what the princesses are like. But honestly, I feel like it is incredibly insulting to the work of the previous animators and storytellers of those princess movies by showing those princesses in such a strange light the way that they did. So I'm just going to say that. I don't want to like spoil the scene for anybody, but I mean, of course, my bad review of it is probably spoiling it already. But anyway, that's what I think.
Yeah, I've stayed away from all that princess. I've seen on YouTube the thumbnail, and I purposefully didn't click on it just because I didn't want to watch it. Kenton says Rotten Tomatoes audience score 69%, while the critics 89%. Wreck-It Ralph 2 doesn't deserve a 69%. Well, do you think it should be higher or lower, Nate? It's supposed to be them satirizing. I'm just not gonna. I can't read. I cannot read that word. But yeah, for those of you guys who have seen it, I'd like to know what you guys thought of it. Like I said, a lot of the people on the Discord server, link in the description, by the way, if you guys would like to join our Discord server. Really great place, awesome community. A lot of them said that they enjoyed it, that it wasn't as bad as they thought it would. Then again, I'm sure a lot of them went into it with very low expectations. But someone said that the best, Jill said that the best Disney sequel is Cinderella 3. I agree. The best Disney movie ever made is Cinderella 3: A Twist in Time. I'm going to be getting Cinderella to sign, even though I already got her to sign the cover, I'm going to get her to sign the DVD itself next time when I'm in the parks. So that way, I don't know, just because I can. Anyways, back, still on the track of Wreck-It Ralph. This isn't really Disney news, but it has to do with Wreck-It Ralph, so I figured why not include it. Wreck-It Ralph has a very interesting crossover / cameo with your nephew's favorite video game, Fortnite Battle Royale. Apparently, as you guys know, I play Fortnite from time to time. I dabble in the Battle Royale genre of Fortnite Battle Royale. But yeah, according to TheVerge.com. By the way, links to all these articles will be in the description below if you guys would like to read into all of this stuff. If you guys would like to send it to your friends, send the articles to your friends. Yeah, links are in the description below. But I'm sure most of you guys remember, most of you guys who play Fortnite remember back when Infinity War came out, Fortnite did a crossover with Thanos. They had like a whole separate mode where you could become Thanos and kill everybody. But this one, apparently, there's supposed to be more, I believe, more coming throughout the next month or the next few weeks, I believe. But there is, gosh, I don't want to have to like explain Fortnite to everybody, but I guess there's a place in Fortnite called Risky Reels, and it has a film it's like a drive-in theater basically, and there's like a big projection screen, and on the screen Ralph makes a sort of a small little cameo. I'll switch to the video, let's see, from Mozzie with 2 Z's and 2 Y's on Twitch. I don't know who this man is. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip ahead to the actual thing. It should be coming up. Oh, there he is. There's Ralph, you guys. Whoa, that's epic, guys. Wreck-It Ralph in Fortnite. Wow, there he is. He just runs by, does a nice little wave, and then runs away. So yeah, for you Fortnite fans out there, keep your eyes open for Wreck-It Ralph. Apparently, like I said, there's supposed to be more that's going to be happening within the next few weeks or so. But yeah, not really Disney news, but I figured most of you guys would find it interesting that Ralph Breaks the Internet decided to partner with Fortnite Battle Royale. But anyways, we got another little topic here. Phantom Manor. I'm sure all you Phantom Manor fans eager to have Phantom Manor open again for you to ride. I think someone in the chat, I can't remember for the life of me who it was. Someone went to Disneyland Paris like a month ago, I think. And they went specifically, no, it was during Halloween time, and they went so they could ride Phantom Manor during Halloween, because a bunch of news sites reported that Phantom Manor would be open in time for Halloween, I believe, but it never opened. And yeah, they even sent in a story for Matt Host's Ghosts about Phantom Manor not being open when they went. I can't remember for the life of me who it was. If you're listening, I apologize that I can't remember you, but Phantom Manor reopening delayed once again in Disneyland Paris. Let's see, this is according to WDW News Today. They had previously reported on November 16th. Nope, this was the day. Yes, it was November 16th. They had previously reported on the 16th that Phantom Manor would be reopening on February 16th, 2019, but they've since published a new article on the 19th claiming that they were wrong, that I guess the website they got the information from was not correct or something of the manner. You guys can check out the full article in the description below. But yeah, so Phantom Manor will not be opening in January as they had previously stated. I don't know, I believe Phantom Manor's been closed to have one of those extended refurbs to sort of touch up everything in the ride. I don't know how long it's been closed. The ride, which has been closed since January of this year. So it's been almost a year. Dang, that's crazy.
Wow, that's a long time for a ride.
Yeah, it was initially expected to reopen no later than December of 2018 as part of the resort's €1 experience enhancement program, aka Project Sparkle. So I guess, yeah, for those of you Phantom Manor fans, really sad. I wonder what's going on. I don't think Disney's officially commented on why it hasn't reopened yet or when it will reopen. So that's kind of crazy to think that it's been closed for almost over a year with no signs of it being reopened. Maybe they broke. Maybe it's like a World of Color. They broke like a core part of the ride vehicles, and that they have to redo it from scratch. That'd suck. Mateo says, I think they're gonna keep it shuttered until at least summer next year, maybe spring. That'd suck. Like the rocket rods. Oh, it'll be back soon. Then, oh, it'll be back eventually. Then finally, don't bother waiting. What if it's like that? What if they just straight up closed Phantom Manor because they broke the ride trying to refurb it? That would be awful.
Oh man.
Because Phantom Manor is a fan favorite, I believe, in Disneyland Paris. I've never personally been on it, but yeah, really sad to see this happen. Alex, what are your thoughts on Phantom Manor being delayed? Are you a fan of Phantom Manor, I guess? Because we all know you're a huge fan of the original Haunted Mansion, but what are your thoughts on Phantom Manor in Disneyland Paris?
I'm not really. No, I don't know what to say. I'm not really a fan. Not that I hate it. It's just it's not something that I would ride. But yeah, what am I trying to say? I thought I had a lot more to say, but now I can't remember.
Nate says, I'll admit I like it better than our mansion. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen any ride-throughs of it, I don't believe. I'm waiting to the eventual time, 50 years from now, when I get to visit Paris and actually experience it for the first time. But yeah, so sad news for all you Phantom Manor fans. Man, my arm really hurts. Oh, I'm like stretching it out. Ooh, okay. Anyways, moving on.
You know, Your
yes.
arm is probably so narrow, they probably actually stuck you in the bone with that needle.
Probably. It was a long needle, and I looked away because, you know, needles are gross. But anyways, tell Chris to get on that. I don't know.
It's Chris with a K.
Oh! Yeah, okay, yeah. Chris with a K is his new YouTube I don't know. Yeah, he goes by Chris with a K, I believe. My bad. Anyways, we're going to be getting into all the trailers released these past few weeks from Disney, Walt Disney Studios, Pixar as well. But the first one that was released was new Dumbo trailer, along with this really nice looking poster, in my opinion. I'm not going to be playing any of the trailers on stream because I don't want to get copyright claimed. But yeah, so link to the trailers are in the description below. This trailer doesn't really give much new information, or new scenes at least. Yeah, you guys can watch gosh, now that we're here and that I can't play the trailer, it's like, oh, just watch the trailer. And but anyways, Alex, what are your thoughts on the new Dumbo trailer that Disney released a few weeks ago?
Just so you guys know, you're gonna see a trend with my answers for the next couple segments of the show. But starting with this one, or at least with the Wreck-It Ralph one, this is again not a movie I'm interested in seeing, and that's actually difficult for me to say because I usually really like Tim Burton movies. I really liked the original Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, not the sequel of the Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah, the sequel was really bad.
But yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it was just. Oh, anyway. But I did like the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland. I thought that was really good. And another one that I can't remember. But anyway, but this one doesn't interest me, and I think it's because I feel like the Dumbo story works better animated than it would in live action.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like there's too much. I don't know. It seems like in order for it to work, it would have to be a completely different story, which it appears that this is going to be a completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, then I don't want to see a weird, zany movie with a giant, big-eared animated elephant. Like, you know, like, I just...
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to see this movie.
Yeah, I mean, the original Dumbo movie, I have it pulled up here. It was only 1 hour and 4 minutes. So, I mean, I guess if you want to remake this movie, you're going to have to add something new, some filler or something. I don't know. It could be good. Tim Burton has sort of fallen off the past couple years with the Alice in Wonderland sequel, which I was not a fan of. But I don't know. It could surprise me. I probably won't see it in theaters. Probably not until I see the original Dumbo, which I still haven't after the 6 months of me saying that I'm going to watch it. I'll watch it eventually, everybody. Maybe we should have like a viewing party for like all the classics. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know. Like once a month or something, maybe.
The original Dumbo is one of those movies that brings a tear to my eye.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll have to bring a fresh pack of Kleenex with me when I watch it. I don't know. I don't know why I've never seen it. Just never gotten around to it. I mean, I have seen Cinderella 3: A Twist in Time multiple times, so that probably explains to you my viewing my movies that I like. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I'm sure this movie could be good because, like I said, Tim Burton is an amazing director, and it looks sort of like it could have a different kind of feel than your Beauty and the Beast or Lion King, which we're gonna get into, just because it's Tim Burton. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Next, Toy Story 4, the most anticipated movie of 1999. I can't wait for Toy Story 4, you guys. I'm very excited to see where they take these characters. Psych. I am not excited for Toy Story 4, and I will just leave it at that. Moving on to... Just kidding. I'm going to read the official synopsis for Toy Story 4 for you guys. This is all from dsminewscast.com. Quote, Woody has always been confident of his place in the world and that his priority is taking care of his kid, whether it's Andy or Bonnie. But when Bonnie adds a reluctant new toy called Forky to her room, a road trip adventure alongside old and new friends will show Woody how big the world can be for a toy. Directed by Josh Cooley, Riley's First Date, and I don't know what the heck that is. I guess that's a Pixar. I think that's a Pixar short. And produced by Jonas Rivera, which he worked on Inside Out and Up, and Mark Nielsen, associate producer of Inside Out. Disney Pixar's Toy Story 4 ventures to U.S. theaters on June 21st, 2019. It seems like just yesterday we were talking about how Toy Story 4 was delayed and how they had to rewrite the entire script from scratch. Do you guys remember us talking about that a long time ago? Anyways, they released two different teasers. I think it was either a day apart or like a few hours apart, but not really much to give away in these teasers. It's just sort of, the first one was just like the characters flopping around, and yeah, these are the posters. That's really what it is. It's like them falling or something. And these are the new characters. There is Forky, little cutie pie right there. And then here, these new characters to the left, we have Ducky and Bunny, according to DSMI Newscasts. Played by Key and Peele of the famous Key and Peele TV show, you guys. This is going to be epic, everybody. I always love when studios bring in comedians who are most famous for like not safe for work comedy, and then they have to censor their comedy for the PG-13 movie. That's my favorite. Anyways, Alex, what do you reckon Toy Story 4 will be like? Do you think it'll be good, bad, or amazing?
Ugly. Good, bad, or ugly. Well, first of all, let me just say this. When I saw the two teasers, I hated both teasers. And the first teaser I saw was the one with Forky. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the worst teaser ever.
Yeah.
And then I saw the one with the rabbit and the chick. And I was like, okay, now this is the worst teaser ever.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, like, all right, well, this is just teasers. Maybe these are just, characters just invented for the teaser, and they're just to get you excited for the world of toys, But the fact that I'm learning just now that these are actually going to be characters in the movie makes me really not want to see this movie now. Actually, a few seconds ago, I was going to tell you guys that I was actually planning to see this movie. Ooh. But now that I know that these three characters are in there, I'm not going to see this movie. And it's simply for the reason that this movie is plagued, like most Disney movies are nowadays, with today's modern day humor. And I was talking about this on Discord the other day about how I really don't like the style of humor that's going around right now on TV and stuff like that, because it's not funny. It's just like, oh, let me be dumb and say dumb things, and it's gonna be so funny. Like, like the whole, like with the bunny saying to infinity and your mom. I'm like, really? And everyone was laughing so hard at that, and I'm like, that's just like cheap, dumb humor. Like, I was telling people, I remember a time when like comedy movies or movies with funny humor in it those parts were actually written by actual successful comedians. you know, because they were like, hey, we want jokes that are actually really good. And so they would hire a professional comedian to at least write or incorporate the parts of the comedy that have that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's like, obviously they just took everyone's average, you know, sipping over a Starbucks coffee humor and put it into this movie. And it's just like, I can't stand it. I literally cannot sit through something with that kind of crappy humor. So I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But Matt, you didn't say what your opinions are on.
I mean, it's Toy Story 4. It should have... I'm sure everybody can universally agree that it should have ended after the third one. I don't see any new stories that can be told that'll be interesting, and that will leave us more satisfied than the ending of Toy Story 3. I just don't see that happening, in my opinion. And I agree with you. Especially after the second teaser, it's sort of, yeah, like these two new characters are like self-aware. They're like watching the trailer for their own movie, and it's like, wait a minute, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be one of those kinds of movies, isn't it? When you were talking about the humor, all I could picture was like the Big Bang Theory in my head, with like just like the worst jokes possible, and like laugh tracks every 20 minutes or like every 5 seconds just to tell the audience that what the characters were saying was a joke.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in seeing Toy Story 4. It could be good. I don't know. Pixar, they made Coco, you guys. They can't possibly screw up after making Coco, right? I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think that's it for Toy Story 4. Unless I feel like I'm forgetting something. But yeah, I guess it is worth noting that Duck and Bunny, these two characters here, are played by Key and Peele. So we'll see how that works. I love the Key and Peele. I love the skits that they do. I think they're funny, in my opinion. But yeah, it'll be really different to see them on like in a Disney movie with like their normal kind of comedy. I guess basically like washed away, replaced by like Disney Pixar's version of comedy. But anyways, moving on to the last one. I don't know what I was trying to say. Moving on to The Lion King. This debuted out of nowhere. I was watching football on Thanksgiving the other day, and I was looking down at my phone, and I hear something familiar I hear something that sounds familiar from the TV, and I look up and I see Disney during the commercial, and I was like, wait a minute, this is something I haven't seen before. Disney released a teaser for the live action. It's not live action, stop saying that, Disney. Yeah, I don't know why they're calling it live action. It's not like they're getting the actual animals to like do the acting. It's all animated. But anyways, Disney released a CG live action. There's no real nice way of saying it. Disney released a teaser for the new Lion King movie coming out in 2019. And all I have to say is, wow, I'm gonna see that for sure. Probably not. But we talked about this on the Discord the other day, right after the trailer debuted. I don't really know what to say besides everything we've already been saying. We've talked about these live action movies extensively on the podcast. What's wrong with his paw? Why are his fingers so giant? I guess. I don't know.
Because he's a cub. They have abnormally large feet because they're cubs.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Alex, for explaining to Sam. I didn't know that. I think they look normal. I don't know. It could just be me. Yeah, I think they look normal. But anyways, not really much to say about this. Of course, I don't know. I don't really know what to say. It's a live action directed by the same person that directed The Jungle Book, which Alex and I can agree is not our favorite live action Disney remake movie that was released within these past couple years.
Are you kidding? If I could collect all the copies of that and burn it in a bonfire, I would.
Yeah. I was not a fan of that movie. More specifically, the King Louis part. It was kind of unsettling to hear. What's that actor's name?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it was really unsettling to hear like Christopher Walken rap while like seeing like this ugliest monkey ever like jiggling around. It was just not visually pleasing for me. But yeah, this is interesting. According to Twitter and all the other articles, I don't have an article for this part, but according to the internet, the song that Scar sings, what's its name? Be Prepared. That song will not be in this movie. So, I think that's like a fan favorite villain song for everybody that's seen it. I haven't seen the original Lion King in a very long time, so I guess I'll have to rewatch it in preparation for this one. This will probably be one of the ones that I actually see in theaters, just because it's the Lion King. But Alex, what are your thoughts on the Lion King live-action teaser trailer?
Well, first of all, Matt, the first thing I was thinking of was I need to get you to hang out at my house, because I have a home theater system, 7.1 surround sound, Super HD TV, and I have like all of the best classic Disney movies on Blu-ray, and like we need to watch these at my house with like lots of popcorn. So
I'm down. That sounds amazing. Oh, that reminds me. We need to do the Ouija board thing at your house with the ghosts.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
so fun.
I don't know if we'll have time to do that this trip, but we'll talk about it after the stream. Anyways,
I've seen so many weird things lately. I can't even begin. I think stuff gets weirder around Christmas time for some reason. I have no idea why, but it just gets weirder in my house around Christmas time. But yeah. Okay, so Lion King. So this is yet another movie I will definitely not be seeing. And it's because of the reason I gave, first of all, because remember what I was saying about how when you have an iconic masterpiece, don't touch it. Don't go back and make another one or fix it up or whatever, because it's already really good. There's no reason, like anything you do from this point on, whether it's good or bad, is going to change things. It's going to leave a scar. If it's really bad, then every time someone sees the original Lion King, they're just going to go, oh yeah, do you remember that really bad Lion King movie that came out? Oh my gosh, while I was watching this, all I can think of is that one. Or it could be the opposite, which is if this new Lion King movie happens to be really, really good, which I highly doubt, even if it happens to be really good, then it's just going to make the old original Lion King look like crap in comparison. Something that you grew up loving is going to look not as good compared to this one. So either way, I just feel like, look, it's considered an iconic Disney masterpiece. So leave it alone before you alter things for the worst. So that's kind of my opinion on that part of it. The other thing too is, once again, it's going to be really weird seeing like actual looking animals talking. That to me is like really strange. Like I've never been okay with that in movies. Like when I saw 102 Dalmatians with the do you remember the bird, the macaw that talked? I was like, that is so weird. Like that is like really strange. Like anyway, but it looks very uncanny and very strange for realistic looking animals to talk in a serious movie. It's one thing if you've got that movie made for 3-year-olds called Napoleon, about like a puppy that goes to Australia,
or like Sled Dogs.
or like Sled Dogs. That's one thing because it's like for 3-year-olds. But when you've got a movie like this, like Lion King, that's supposed to appeal to the general public, it's gonna be weird. And you know, so it's just I'll give them this at least. They've at least made a few voice actor decisions that are good, because remember I was talking about the Jungle Book remake. They chose all these famous Hollywood actors, but none of them had voices that really fit the part of the animal they were playing. It just didn't sound right. Didn't sound like you were hearing voices from a wolf or voices from a bear or voices from, or even Shere Khan's voice. It's just none of them sounded like the characters they were. But the good thing so far about Lion King is that they brought back James Earl Jones to play Mufasa. I thought that James Earl Jones, his voice was perfect for playing Mufasa in the first movie, so the fact that he's coming back is kind of good. And then they chose Seth Rogen. He's got a very interesting voice. I don't know who he's going to play.
He's playing
but
Pumbaa.
I do. Oh, he's playing Pumbaa. Okay. Well, I don't know how well that works together, but Seth Rogen does have a memorable voice. And when you choose voice actors for an animated feature, you want someone with a memorable voice to voice a character, because that's what makes them sound like that animal, you know? So anyway, so while I will not be seeing this movie, I will say that it at least has that going for it, which Jungle Book did not have. So, yeah.
Well, this is interesting. I saw this on my Instagram feed minutes before we went live for the podcast, posted by Disney Studios. Apparently, the new Lion King teaser trailer has become the most viewed Disney trailer debut ever, as it reached a record-breaking 224.6 million global views in 24 hours. So that's sort of, I guess you can sort of gauge what the public thinks about not just the live-action remakes, but a Lion King live-action remake. But going back to what you said about seeing these like real animals talking in like a serious movie, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of having these like photorealistic animals talking like this, like what was the movie, The Jungle Book. I guess one of the things I didn't like about The Jungle Book was it's sort of distracted. Seeing like photorealistic animals talking and like, I guess like acting, I guess it's sort of distracted for me at least from the movie, because you're just focused on like, wow, this is like a really this what is tiger? I guess Shere Khan is a tiger. This is like a really good looking tiger. I cannot believe they animated that tiger. I can't believe that's not looks like a real tiger. It just sort of distracts, in my opinion, from the movie. And with animated movies, there's not, of course, there's compared to live action movies, there's not a lot of, I don't know how to phrase this. There's not a lot of detail. That sounds weird to say. There's not a lot of detail in the movies, especially in like the foreground and the background. But with these like live action movies, there's so much going on in like I said, the foreground and the background, with like all the trees and like the leaves are so photorealistic, so detailed. In my opinion, it just, in my opinion, distracts from the movie, especially when you plop these CG animals inside the scene. It just sort of does not look right to me.
You know what else is weird? Is, okay, like this is something that not a lot of people think about, I'm pretty sure. But so the other thing about these photorealistic animals is because they're supposed to be so realistic, they also manage to give these animals the usual blank, unemotional look.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Animals have, you know, like, so it's like really strange because because like if you watch like the original Disney Jungle Book, you know, the characters have such amazing facial expressions. Like Baloo the bear, you know, when he's scratching his back on the tree, you know, he has this funny look in his face. Or like, you know, when you see I don't know, Bagheera, you know, growling or angry at Baloo or something, he has these amazing facial expressions that you can get away with traditional hand-drawn animation and stuff like that. But when you're trying to create a photorealistic animal, you can't put those cartoony facial expressions on them because it looks even weirder. And so therefore they've gone the route of just keeping them looking like blank-faced animals. And unfortunately, that doesn't translate the emotion of the character very well. And when I watched the new, you know, CGI Jungle Book, I was just like, that was another one of those things that really bothered me, besides the voices, was the fact that like the animals are not, you know, are not showing their emotion. There's no effort in acting on the part of the character. So it's just like, oh yeah, so that's something that bothers me.
Yeah, you can see this especially if you, I'm trying to find the video right now. If you watch like a side-by-side comparison, I got something in my throat. Here it is. The Lion King teaser shot-for-shot comparison. You can see what Alex and I are talking about, especially if you watch like those sort of side-by-side, shot-for-shot, basically. I posted the link in chat for you guys. If you watch those and you sort of just like compare what the new movie will look like compared to the old one, it's a big, in my opinion, it's something that really ruins the movie for me. And I was just about to talk about the facial expressions before Alex brought it up. I mean, just look at the poster. I mean, sure, wow, that's like a really cute little kitty cat, right? But I mean, that's gonna be his face like the entire movie, probably. Just get used to looking at that, because it's probably not gonna look any different. And yeah, even if you do try to do those cartoony expressions, it sort of just like detracts from what you're trying to do. Live action, you know, realistic remake of the movie, it will not make it look as realistic. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm not very good at explaining this, but I'm sure you guys can sort of follow what we're trying to say. But I mean, it does look beautiful. I'll give it that. It does look very nice. The CGI looks fantastic. And one other thing that I wanted to bring up, the fact that they brought James Earl Jones back, I'm a fan of that. But it's sort of weird to me that they didn't, someone else was talking about this in the Discord, that they didn't bring back, what is his name? Jeremy Irons, to reprise his role, because, you know, he's still alive. He's still making movies. He was in that one Batman movie a while back. But yeah, they didn't bring him back, just James Earl Jones. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, they do have a lot of very well-known actors playing the voices. Of course, Donald Glover, who played, what is his name from Star Wars? Lando Calrissian. He will be voicing Simba. Key and Peele guy, the guy from Key and Peele, Keegan-Michael Key, will be playing Kamari. I don't know who that is. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, guys. I cannot pronounce this fine gentleman's name. Chiwetel. He plays Scar. I cannot pronounce his name. I apologize. You guys, Beyonce is voicing Nala, you guys. Beyonce. That's going to be totally epic. I guess. Eric Andre will be voicing Azizi. Is that how it's pronounced? Probably. John Oliver will be voicing Zazu. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Jon Favreau, of course, is directing. I guess Jon Favreau is a pretty cool guy. So I have some faith in him that the movie will be good. I guess time will tell. But yes, that's it for that. On all the trailers, like I said, will be in the description below, or if they're not in the description, you can probably find them on the trending page of YouTube. But before we go away, I have two little stories that I'd like to... Oh, I need to burp. Excuse me. Two little stories that I'd like to talk about. The first one comes from Cinema Blend. Not sure how reputable this website is, but the wild way Mary Poppins Returns recreated its animated sequences. So this will be just a short little thing. I'm just going to read this quote. Emily Blunt, playing the title character, recently explained how the same animation was being used, saying, quote, It's all the hand-drawn animation, and they actually got these 90-year-old animators out of retirement. When you're doing these sequences, you're dancing with like a tennis ball or a very small dancer in a green screen suit, like an adult dancer on his knees pretending to be a penguin. So that's kind of interesting that, according to Emily Blunt, they brought some of the... She says 90-year-old animators, doesn't really name which animators, but yeah, that's pretty cool that they're bringing back these old animators for the Mary Poppins Returns sequel. Of course, it's probably not going to be traditional hand-drawn animation. It'll probably be, computer hand-drawn animation, but it's 2D nonetheless. Very excited to see how that goes. Link to this full article will be in the description below. That's really the only thing I wanted to highlight. And last but not least, there is a very interesting article here, you guys, from WDW News Today. Discover which Disney princess is most popular in your state. Have you ever wondered which Disney princess is the most popular? Cable TV has created a useful map of the United States, displaying the results by state. So, this is very interesting. I think I have the picture here. Yes, I do. Here we go. So, these are all of the most popular characters by state, you guys. Now, this is epic. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It should come as no surprise that Elsa and Anna are by far the most popular picks over half the country. In fact, South Carolina and Wisconsin were what am I reading? In fact, in South Carolina and Wisconsin, the two are even tied for most popular. It's no wonder why Frozen will be the first Disney princess franchise to get a proper thematic sequel. There's a lot of Annas and Elsas on this list, you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 Annas here. That's kind of crazy to think that... When did this movie come out? 2014? 2013? I don't know. It's crazy to think that this recent Disney princess sort of just like destroys every other, classic Disney princess when it comes to... I don't know how they determine this kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of weird.
I have a question.
Yes.
What Disney princess is that on California?
California, that looks like Moana. Let me see. No, it's Esmeralda.
Really?
Interesting.
It
says Esmeralda. It looked like, I guess the one I said isn't technically a princess, but Esmeralda, she's from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's really crazy. I didn't think that movie was as popular as it was. But according to CableTV.com, Esmeralda is the most popular Disney princess of California. And New Mexico is... That looks like Mulan. Yeah, New Mexico's is Mulan. But
Who's
yeah,
Washington?
Washington.
Is that Snow White?
That is... Yes, that is Snow White. They have like a guide down here because it's kind of hard to distinguish who's who. I probably should have put that up here, but
I love how Tiana only shows up in Louisiana.
Oh, really? That's so sad.
That's it. There's no other states on this map that shows Tiana.
Which is this? This is Colorado, New Mexico. Is that Utah? Utah has like 5 princesses tied. There is Rapunzel, Belle, Elsa, Cinderella. They're so small. And Snow White. I thought it was the most... I guess they tied for first. This whole map is BS in every way. So yeah, it's not really newsworthy, but it's kind of cute to look at. They got cute little sprites of all the princesses. Ariel is the most popular in Florida because, you know, Florida's a swamp. Swamps have water, and Ariel lives in water. But yeah, anyways, I think that's gonna wrap up all the topics for today. Tiana is Louisiana, isn't that? Or is that not?
Yeah. She's in Louisiana.
Okay, yeah, Louisiana. Yeah, Tiana's in Louisiana. Only one, like Alex said. But yeah, anyways, I think that's gonna wrap up this week's topics. Words with Walt will return next week. Very sorry for all you Words with Walt fans. We haven't had a Words with Walt in a couple weeks. But yeah, it will return next week, I promise. Oh my goodness, I just totally got reminded. We have a spooky story to read, follow up to the Oink story from Nate, I believe. Yeah, Nate sent it. Let me open that really quick, because I just remembered that he sent a follow-up. If my email will load. If you guys would like to send in your own spooky stories to be read during Matt Hosts Ghosts, here it is. Act 1, Part 2. You can email them to me at ytmatterhornmatt.com, or you can send them through the Discord server. Just message them to me. Or you can message them to me on Twitter. Here, let me open this really quick. Yeah, we've had a long absence of Matt Host Ghosts, as well as Words with Walt. But we will be getting into Words with Walt next week, I promise. Yeah, let's see. The Desolation of Oink, Act 1, Part 2. Let's see. It's kind of long. I might break it up. We'll see. Okay. All right, you guys. I hope you are all ready for this week's part of the episode of Matt Hosts Ghosts.
Welcome to Matt Hosts Ghosts.
Very cool. Thank you again, Jeremy, for doing those amazing voiceovers. Let's see. This is The Desolation of Oink, Act 1, Part 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's not a spooky story. It's a story that Nate decided to write up. When was the last? I think we read the first one like 2 weeks ago. You guys can go back 2 episodes ago to hear the first part of Act 1. But yeah, so be prepared, everybody. The Desolation of Oink, Act 1, Part 2. This starts on planet Sugon, AD 2018. In a distant planet in the furthest reaches of our galaxy lies planet Sugon, an Earth-like planet inhabited by a humanoid species that bears an exact resemblance to Disney Parks and Resorts chairman Bob Chapek. The Sugon... Oh my god, Nate. The Sugandese are a very proud and industrious people, constantly advancing their society. One day, a Sugandese criminal named Oink is being put on trial for crimes too heinous to describe in full detail. He stands in front of a judge awaiting his punishment. The judge says, "Oink, you stand here today to answer for your terrible crimes, attempting to take over the Sugon Disney Resort to build a Pixar pier." As the crowd murmured, the judge felt ill reading off Oink's crimes. The judge says, "Pixar pier? That sounds so lame. If it were up to me, I would never let you step anywhere near a Disney park again with an idea like Pixar pier." The crowd let out a judgmental laugh. They have never heard of an idea so lame before. The judge says, "Order in the court. Oink, how do you plead?" Oink says, "Not guilty." The judge replies, "Is that so? The jury will now deliver its final verdict." Everyone turned to the jury in suspense. Oink smirked at the judge, knowing he will, in some way, get away with his crimes. The jury says, "We, the jury, find Oink guilty of his crimes." Oink smirked as the courtroom was shocked. He could easily escape and hide in the outskirts until everyone forgot about him. He'd be back in the streets in no time. The judge says, "I knew it. I know you too well, Oink. If I put you in a prison, you'll just escape and try to hide in the outskirts. Your punishment will be harsh and swift. Oink, you are hereby banished from Sugon. You will spend the rest of your life in the darkest realm of the internet, Discord." For the first time in his life, Oink felt fear. He knew about the internet. If anyone was banished to the internet, they would never see the light of day again. There was no escape. The judge says, "Henceforth, you shall be known as Bob Chapek." The judge's guards placed Oink into cuffs and placed him into a gray pod connected to an internet router. The judge says, "Does the condemned have any last words?" Bob Chapek, or Oink, replies, "You could do whatever you want to me, but know this. I will find a way to escape, and Pixar Pier will come to fruition, whether you like it or not." The judge says, "Commence the execution." In the flash of light, the condemned Oink was turned into millions of tiny pixels, never to be seen again. Here the rest takes place on Earth. A Disney YouTuber has just finished recording a weekly podcast talking about what's going on in the Disneyverse. YouTuber says, "Great stream, you guys. See you all next week." While putting his stiff away, his computer mysteriously switched on, as if it were alive, waking from a deep sleep. The computer then spoke to him. "OMG, this is the same guy who tries making a history video about the Main Street Electrical Parade and got so much stuff wrong, laughing while crying emoji. Don't listen to this guy." The YouTuber says, "I thought I turned you off." And the computer says, "There's no turning things off until I get what I want. I own you now. You must be the one who makes history videos on the Disney parks, right?" The Disney YouTuber replies, "Yes." The computer says, "From the looks of it, you get basic information wrong." And the YouTuber says, "Like you could do any of my videos better." The computer says, "I presume you're going to Disneyland very soon." The YouTuber was confused by his question, more like confused by everything going on. The YouTuber says, "I am going to Disneyland." And the computer replies, "Very well, I can help you with your videos. Going to the source itself will improve your videos drastically." The YouTuber says, "I have people who help me with my videos. I don't need some bot to tell me what to do. Get out of here before I Control-Alt-Delete you." The YouTuber made a grave mistake. He was still wearing his headphones while connected to the computer. The computer says, "Control-Alt-Delete this." The computer let out a surge of electricity, surging through the headphones into his brain, torturing him. The computer says, "I can easily stop this, you know. Hopefully we have a deal, do we? Do we have a deal?" Being in a significant amount of pain, the YouTuber had no choice but to bend to the computer's will. The YouTuber says, "Fine, we have a deal." The computer says, "Very good. You're going to take me to that park. There my true plan will come to fruition. If you try to wipe me, you will experience things far worse than I just did." The computer left one last message for the YouTuber. The message was just one word: Oink. The YouTuber says, "Sam, gather the mountaineers. Things are about to get technical." And that is the end of Act 1. Thank you, Nate. This is amazing. Thank you, Nate. Please continue making these for as long as you are alive. Sort of an inside joke, I guess, if you guys are members of our Discord. We'll explain it there if you would like some backstory. But that was beautiful, Nate. Thank you so much for making that for us. I really appreciate it. And on that note, it is time for us to end this episode of Matterhorn Mondays. I know you're sad to see us go, but there's only one more episode left until the live episode from the parks. Very excited for that. Like I said, Alex, Chris from LMG Vids, and I will be there recording. I guess I'll give like a full review of my experience in Disneyland during the holidays, because I've never been to Disneyland during the holidays, so it'll be very interesting. I'm really excited, you guys. I've never been there during the holidays, and I'm very excited to see what everything looks like. I'm going to be taking so many pictures. You guys have no idea. I hope you're ready.
And I'm going to be vlogging Matt's experience at Disneyland, because I myself am excited to see what his reaction to Christmas time Disneyland is like.
Yes, Alex will... I guess we'll both be vlogging. I will... Yeah. I promise on my life, the new vlogs that I make from this trip will be 100% better than the last vlogs I made from the last trip. Because, you know, the vlogs that I filmed during my trip last time were not the greatest, but I've learned from my mistakes. I will continue to improve them. And, yeah, meetup again will be not January, December 3rd at 2 p.m. in the lobby of the Grand Californian Hotel. And I feel like there was one other thing that I had to say, but... Oh, okay. You guys, if you... the hiccup. If you guys like A Bug's Land, or just A Bug's Life in general, you guys should go check out my music on Spotify. Link is in the description below. I make, and I will continue to make, tribute songs to our fallen comrade, A Bug's Land, who got squashed, sadly, by Tony Stark's Iron Man. More songs to come. I only have 2 at the moment. I'm working on the full album, though, for all of you guys. They're just memes, you know. I'm not a good singer, but you guys seem to get a laugh out of them, so I will continue to make them. But yeah, a full album coming in 2019. Yeah, Autumn's here. She makes the art for the cover of all my songs. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas on what I should title the full album, which will be coming in 2019, comment down below, because I don't know what to title it. But anyways, thank you all for coming to this week's episode of Matterhorn Mondays. We hope you all enjoyed. And Alex, do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to say?
Yes, when's that video coming? Redoing all the voices in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that is coming when I hit 10,000 subscribers, you guys. I promise that is a thing. I have not started working on it, even though I'm only like 300 subscribers away. This week will be dedicated to working on that, and I will have it up in time, I promise. 10K special, you guys. Hug the Hose, A Bug's Land tribute. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, that video will be coming once we hit 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, it's gonna take a while for me to finish it, so yeah, I will start working on it now. But yeah, thank you all for joining us today on this week's episode of Matterhorn Mondays. We hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.